Hi guys, don't mind all these weeds around this little raised bed because it's just been too hot for me to be out here working in this heat doing weeding. The heat index has just been like through the roof here in West Tennessee. I did want to take a moment though and share some of the things that I'm doing for prepping my beds for fall and spring planting. In this bed, I have brought in some rabbit manure, which you can see the little pellets there, a little bit of horse manure, and I've sprinkled in some wood ash as well as some eggshells for calcium. So I'm going to churn all of this in, and I won't dig deep. I'll just gently flip it here on the top, and then I'm going to cover it. This particular bed is going to rest until spring. I'll put one more layer in. I may put one more layer in because as this compost, it's going to go down, and I've got some room left here on the sides. You can see here that I could add a whole nother layer. So I may add another layer and then let this bed set and rest until the spring. So this one is going to get to sit here all winter long and basically just compost on its own. The rabbit manure is a cold compost, so I could plant right into this if I wanted to, but I prefer sometimes to let it sit. I use the rabbit manure as a quick compost when I'm gardening if I see that a plant is struggling a little bit or something. But you know, I never do. I don't have like set rules for how I do things. You know, I just have a knowledge base and I intuitively do what I think the plant needs at the time. So for that reason, in a lot of ways, I'm not the best teacher. I can just share with you the things that I'm doing because with the animals, with the gardening, I just kind of follow my intuition about a lot of things and how I do things. When you have a lot of information in your mind, you know, you have like a little file cabinet up there that you can kind of go through and pick and choose what you're doing. And a lot of what I've learned from trial and error. So like if I did something and that didn't work, I'm like, okay, well, that's not the solution for this problem, you know. And so I'm self-taught in a lot of my gardening, especially when it comes to permaculture. I've studied a lot about permaculture for years actually, and I've learned so much. My family, I grew up on a farm and we grew, but they didn't utilize permaculture. They did in certain areas, but not like in the big fields where we were growing for our family. We had 10 children. I'm one of 10. So we had big gardens and we put a lot of things up for the winter. So, but you know, we had a mule for plowing. This bed here, I'm also prepping this bed here and getting it ready. I've done the same thing. Like here, you'll see this is like some old hay that was mixed in with probably some of the horse manure I threw in here. And there's seed heads in there, you know, and a lot of people say don't use hay because of that. I really don't worry about that because in these raised beds, when the weeds start coming up, it's so easy just to like go through and pick it out, and when you do, it's like it's done, it's over, you know. So I don't really worry about that. I'm more worried about getting, you know, getting my beds healthy and replenishing them. These two beds I've used for 5 years now, and they haven't been replenished, and they've been very productive. So I'm going to make sure that I get that done this year, so next year we can have a big harvest too out of these beds. But anyway, it's not pretty. It's not pretty, but that's how I do it. And this one too, I'll do the same thing. I'll just lightly turn it on the top here and flip some of this material in, and then I'll probably put another layer on this one as well. It's great stuff. My beds are always nice and rich, so it's working for us. Anyway, just wanted to take a quick minute and share that with you because everybody loves all the pretty pictures of the gardening stuff and all those gorgeous immaculate beds, but you know, the reality is, you know, sometimes it's not pretty, and in this particular case it's not pretty. So in this bed here, you can see I have put the hoops on this one. May use this one for some fall planting. Haven't decided yet. I have these hoops on a lot of my beds. And that way I can put shade cloth in the summer if I need to, or I can put plastic on in the winter. I actually have this on all of my raised beds except 3. So it gives me a lot of versatility in growing. We built these out of rough cut lumber from the sawmill. And I wanted to show you real quick how I made these hoops. These little metal rods here are fence post rods that we got at Tractor Supply. And my husband cut them in half for me, and we drove them in the ground. And then you just slip the poly pipe over them, and ta-da! You have hoops for your bed. Super easy. So I've got to go. Still got morning chores to do. Just wanted to take a minute and share the ugly with you. Don't forget my comment, because y'all know I really do love talking to y'all. Thanks for stopping by.